Coach Cam made this shit.
I'm Brenden Kron. This is Rex, and welcome to Jammin with Kron and Rex. Did you know
that men in Rome, the leaders of the household, they were legally allowed to kill anyone in their family? Crazy, right? Legally.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I mean, families can kind of be annoying. I mean, I get that. I mean, I'm sure at some point every dad has wanted to reinstate that rule. Just one day we bring that rule back. But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
It's wild. It's wild that it's legal.
It is very important to use past tense right now.
I did.
Did you?
I think so.
I was like, because
I can't imagine. I said it is legal.
It's crazy that it's legal.
No. Crazy that it was legal.
But no, that.
Why'd you kill your entire family? Well, Jammin podcast said it was legal.
To legalize it. But no, I think only furthering the point that this still has to be the worst time to be a white guy in history, right? It's not bad. I'm doing pretty well with being a white guy right now. But overall, you got to agree, this has to be the worst time to be a white man. Because anything before this... Well, because any other time before this, we're like rulers, and I don't want to say masters, but at any other point in history, if you were white, you were at the top. I'm not saying that's where I want to live. I'm just saying overall, that has to be a true thing. Because, white people always kind of just got shit because they're white. Not saying we still don't, because I still do. But I mean, yeah, you could just kind of do whatever you fucking want to. And I'm like, yeah, you're white. Still not saying that's not true. But
I'm just letting this one run its course. I'm letting you get to the point.
I can't remember. I think it was on American Dad, whenever he was talking about the struggles of being a white man. He was like, man, I miss when white men had most of the power, and I mean all of the power, and not just most. He was like, now we just have most. But
how's your week been?
Yeah. My Aryan rants over. Almost said rain, but week's not been bad. I mean, just watching movies and shit. I'm almost done with my 5th book this year so far.
Wow, congratulations!
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. I spit on my mic a little bit. And there's another really big pet peeve of mine came up. I always forget about it because it doesn't happen that much. Ever since moving to a neighborhood, it obviously been more frequent. Door-to-door salesman is an aggressive job to have. Mm-hmm. Because this dude and just some girl who didn't really say anything was with them. And they came up to the door. I immediately knew what they were doing. They had to sign and shit. It was just one of those neighborhood putting up security shit. And as soon as he started talking, I was like, hey, man, I got to leave here soon, and I'm just really not interested. And he was like, oh, well, I noticed that you have a Ring doorbell. He's like, I installed shit for that for, the people across the street and stuff. And he got in, another sentence before I was like, hey, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't trying to be a dick before, but I was like, I not only said I wasn't interested, but I said, I have to go. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't know if I, should maybe come back later. And I was like, you missed the first part then. I was like, so the second part's not the problem anymore. You just don't care if I actually want what you are selling. And I told him, I was like, no, I said I wasn't interested. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, okay, well, that's all I needed to know. And I was like, I told you 3 fucking times. I was like, one more time, and I swear to God, it's going to get violent. I don't know. If you say no to somebody that many times, I don't know where else you can go with that. I mean, where else? I don't know. But
choose violence.
Super fucking annoying, though.
Yeah.
I remember a while back, this one guy came by. I told him I wasn't interested. Also, just happened to be leaving. And he was like, oh, okay. He came back 20 minutes later because I saw it on the doorbell. Mm-hmm. And he came back 20 minutes later. And I was like, did he not believe me? It's like, did he not believe that I was going somewhere and
Yeah.
would just catch me off guard and be like, fuck, you caught me. I'll buy one.
Yeah.
Like, no, get out. Like, what do you want? I mean, I know what you want, but I just couldn't have a job that's annoying. Like, you're annoying people.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're trying to do a bad thing or like scam you or anything, but I mean, you are going into a job where you're annoying.
Yeah. Do you have to go to every house? Like, I get, like...
You probably have to meet a quota.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm assuming why they're so aggressive, because they're like, dude, nobody in the... And I don't think that shit's true whenever they say, like, oh, yeah, we just installed shit for the people across the street. Like, there's a part of me that wants to extend that even further and being like, I'm going to go ask him. Mm-hmm. Like, I want you to walk with me to their house because I don't believe you. Mm-hmm. Like... I'm assuming that's why, though.
Do you think you could? Do you think you could be like, all right, we're going to go over there, we're going to ask him, and if so, I'll buy your cheapest thing because I don't want it. I'll just buy your cheapest, lowest thing that you can. But if you're lying, I'm going to fuck you up, I guess. Like,
yeah. Like,
I wonder what happens then. Like, are they like, all right, let's do it. Let's ask him.
Hopefully he doesn't kick your ass.
Yeah.
You know? Because, I don't know. I'd really have to...
You had to buy it.
Yeah. I get my ass whooped and I'm out like $60 a month. But I don't know. It's just such an aggressive job. Like being a paparazzi. I couldn't do that either.
No.
Not that I would want to, and I just don't think I have I don't know. I was going to say courage, but you don't have to have any courage. You just kind of have to be a vulture of some kind. It's just trying to be a photographer and an interviewer without actually having any of those skills.
Not necessarily skills, but not having the job of either.
What skilled interviewer do you think started out as a paparazzi? None.
I wish I just
None.
I wish I just knew one. Like I could just be like right off the top of my head, just name one because it'd be funny to just know that.
Because fuck me, I guess. But I don't know. It's just so annoying. Just like being I guess just like a telemarketer.
Yeah.
Like, you're annoying people. And you kind of... I don't see a good person willingly being a telemarketer or staying a good person. Because you have to deal with so many people rejecting you. You have to deal with people just fucking clicking up on you. And you're just like, yeah, that's my day. It's just, I'm going to annoy people.
Most of your sales also come from naive people.
I was going to say old people, but yeah.
Yeah, people who just don't know better. So you're definitely scamming most people.
Yeah, and that's probably where they're making their loot.
Yeah, which is weird. Because even if it's not a bad thing, like a security system, it's probably a good one. Can't imagine they're selling a fake one, right?
Yeah.
So you are helping these people, but you're also trying to rip them off to the best of your ability. You're trying to make it the most that they'll pay for it. So I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's all a fucking scam.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was going to be a door-to-door salesman. I would go to each door, knock on it, and as soon as the door opened, if they weren't old or just looked stupid,
I'm wasting my time.
I'd be like, "Hey, sorry, wrong house," and just keep going.
Yeah, just ask them like a basic math question and see how long it takes for them to decipher, and you're like, "I got this. Like this is going to be my money for the week right here."
So, will you smile? Not all your teeth. Have you heard about this? So, what book are you reading?
Oh, it's called Troop.
Okay.
And it's graphic. It's really graphic. Like, it's not so gross to the point where it's just hard to read. Mm-hmm. But the person who wrote the book is so goddamn descriptive. And it's just nasty. Mm-hmm. Like, because, and this won't spoil anything for the book. I really recommend it. It's got like, I have like an hour left. Mm-hmm. And if it ends just not shitty, it's going to be my favorite book I've read like this calendar year so far.
Awesome.
And I'll say it won't ruin anything, but like there's this point where like this guy's stomach is like moving or something in him is moving around and he's so skinny. And this dude's trying to like help him up to the cabin so he can like feed him and stuff. And the dude like kind of stumbles over and whenever he does, he has to like grab him and put his hand on his stomach. And the way he describes is, he said it felt like if you put your hand on top of a tarp and a snake was moving under it.
Oh my God.
The fucking and he describes how skinny his arms are.
Yeah.
Like, and he said his arms were so skinny that his elbow looked like a knot. It looked like someone tied a knot in a piece of rope. And that's how much you could see his elbow bulge out because he's so scrawny.
Wow.
Yeah. The fucking imagery is horrifying. Which is why I really do appreciate books, because they do let your mind run a little bit more free.
Yeah.
Which is why usually people are like, I guess, more drawn to books, or if you want to be an elitist about it, they're like, oh yeah, that's why I like that better than the movie. And you're just like, dude, you can read. That's fine. You don't have to be a dick about it. You can read.
Yeah.
A good amount of people can fucking read.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah. So assuming Audible, name of the book and
fucking shit.
Yeah, name of the book and then author. So I'm assuming that's.
I don't know the author, but I can find that out really quick. The name of the book is Troop, and it's just about some Boy Scouts who come across a very, very fucked up guy. Oh, Nick Cutter.
Okay.
Yeah. 368 pages.
Horror,
yeah. I have it on 1.5 speed, so I think it like takes 8 hours to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Which isn't bad.
Yeah, dude, goddamn, listening to books is so great. It's so much better.
Yeah. I can never find any that I'm just interested in, is my problem. Yeah, I had Audible for a while.
Yeah.
But every book I tried, I was just like, it's boring. And I kept switching like genres and stuff, and I can't find something that I personally like is my issue.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be cool.
That was kind of my issue too, because I think I was reading the wrong genre. So far, my favorite has been the horror genre.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's a lot to invest yourself in if you don't care about it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, every single book that I've read so far, like, I've almost known that I was going to like it before I read it. Because I don't want to pick everything. Yeah, because I don't want to waste 8 fucking hours of my time for it to suck.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's what's so much easier to, like, that's why it's so much easier for me to, the easiest thing for me to consume, obviously, is music, because it takes no fucking time. You can do other things while you do it. But movies are up there, too. Because I know we've talked about this, like a bad movie versus a bad show. Because you will invest so much more time into a bad show than a bad movie. A bad movie, you can watch, it's done. Even if it's boring, you're like, well, I watched it. It's done. I can confidently say I have an opinion on it now.
Yeah.
Which is
a bad movie also is different. A bad movie can work in a lot of ways.
Depending.
Because it's so bad that like you start to like laugh at it and joke.
Yeah.
I've never had a book like this because for me it's usually boring.
Yeah.
But for me, I couldn't imagine like a book that's just so poor that I'm just like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. Like the way they described that was stupid as shit. That's funny. Like I don't think it correlates the same. And same as like a TV show. If I'm like, oh, that episode was horrible, let me keep going.
Yeah,
I lose the motivation versus a movie is just that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, it doesn't have much. Like my girlfriend will do that and it annoys the shit out of me. She'll watch a bad show, finish the first season. I do respect that she gives it the season to watch it. But after she does that, she'll admit that it's a bad show. But she's like, oh, well, I've already watched this much and there's only like 2 more seasons left. I'm like, you don't have to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't get it either because she's like, well, I want to finish it out. I'm like,
wow.
Don't.
Yeah.
Just try to find something else. Like, if you're entertained by it, but it's bad, that's fine. Do your own fucking thing. But admittedly, a bad show, a bad script, bad actors.
Don't like it.
Don't have to watch it.
No.
Just stop. Shows are so easy to stop.
Yeah. I see most people do like 3 to 7 episodes is usually what people will give it. I do 1. I'm very like if that first episode doesn't have something that makes me go, I want to watch more. I never will.
Now, where I do get it is if a show was good. If you're watching a show that was good, I do get like if the newest season you're watching is bad, it's hard to stop watching because you're kind of hopeful that it'll stop being. Yes, I kept letting that show abuse me week after fucking week.
Yep, it's the one I think of.
Yeah, before I just decided, no,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, I am not wasting my time. I'm not getting my hopes up anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I was fortunate that I watched it late. So I watched...
Yeah, same.
I watched that first season, and I was like, this shit's good. And then I watched that second season, and I was like, it's kind of losing me quick. And then the benefit of that, it was like right before like Negan. So it was right before the show kind of had like a promise again.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So for me, I was just like, oh, it doesn't get better. I'm done. Never watch it. Like I was able to just quit it, and then it's had its ups and downs since. So
well, dude, I
feel like I dodged a bullet.
Yeah. And what was frustrating about that show is because they did really good when they introduced Negan. Because I was starting to get cynical because I was like, the show is the same fucking thing.
Yes.
These people think they're doing good. They go to a town. They get in a battle with somebody else. Mm-hmm. They also deal with zombies as a side plot now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going to happen now? They have to move camps. They're going to get in an argument with the people who are already there. They're going to battle. Zombies are going to be a side plot.
Yep.
And then I was like, this is just going to keep happening. And then Negan comes along and just fucks it up.
Yes.
And I was like, this dude's it. Like, he's going to change the show. He's going to be ruthless. He's not going to put up with any shit. Then he puts up with all kinds of shit.
Yeah, that's where everything goes wrong. I hate... Yeah. That's my biggest issue about a lot of shows that... I want to say it's anime. I don't know why I said shows. This happens in anime.
Animes are show. You can call them shows.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
I can be more specific. I don't know why I wasn't. Something I hate is plot armor. I hate when a character, I just like, they put themselves into dangerous situations and they can't be harmed. They can't die. And same as everyone else around that center group, you know that they're going to be okay. End of the day, they're fine. That's bothering to me because it's just like, it makes it to where every situation they're in, I'm like, they're fine. Like, they're going to be okay. You've never given me any reason to think otherwise.
Yeah.
And that's how that show kind of seemed at that point, was it was just like, we won't actually do anything here.
Yeah, because Negan's introduction is he just fucks up 3 people and kills them. And you're like, this is going to be the guy to shake shit up. Nobody's safe now.
Yes.
But then, who's the main guy?
Rick
Walker, something like that. Super cowboyish like that. And... you know, he keeps Rick around because he's the leader of those people. But Rick keeps doing bad shit. Not bad shit, but shit that goes against Negan.
Yes.
And Negan's like, hey, you get one more.
Yeah.
And then he does it again. He's like, hey, what'd I say? That was the last line.
Yeah.
And then he does it again. He's like, final straw.
Yes.
That's fucking it.
Yeah.
So and he's just like, dude.
Yeah, you start to not care about the villain. That's why Thanos was so good.
Yeah, like, I know he punishes them and does, like, certain things to, like, kind of make him regret, but I was like, dude, he keeps doing it. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do? I no longer take you serious as a antagonist in this, because you're kind of got soft for no reason. You just kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, what an introduction to you just being like, and it's not even development either. It's plot armor.
Yeah.
It's which just is the easiest way to put it.
Yeah. And that's what I don't like, is when it's obviously that's the reason. Because I think you can have your main characters not be in any harm ever. Yeah. And you know that they're fine. And it can still be engaging because you've set it up to a way of like, you know they're going to outsmart this somehow. You know they're going to get out of it, rather than just being like, they can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one example of plot armor in anime that I didn't hate, and I think some people do, is
Attack on Titan?
No. Naruto's fight with Pain.
Okay.
Whenever he finally meets the actual person.
Yes.
And you're
Naruto?
like, yeah, and you're like, everything's fucked up. It can't stay like this. You kind of know that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, people are, like, dying, and you're like, no way all Leaf Village is fucked up.
Yes.
And then Naruto just goes and talks to him.
Yeah.
And it's resolved. And it does sound kind of stupid, but that's supposed to be, like, one of Naruto's things, is that he's a good person. Like, he's a charming person who wants to do good. He has such conviction, and that's what Nagato believed didn't exist anymore.
Yes.
So you're just... Yeah, it works, but I heard a lot of people hate that.
Yeah.
Is that they're just like, oh, that was just a fucking...
Talk no jutsu?
Yeah.
Is what it's usually referred to?
Yeah, and you're just like... I was like, dude, come on. That was kind of a good moment. That was just showing that Nagato's not just a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just doing bad shit to be a bad person. Like, he actually has a horrible story. Like, not a bad story, but like a sad story.
Another good thing about that show is it has 100 main characters, and you know that they're all fine, except for once every 500 episodes, they just kill one off, and you're like, oh, they're not.
Like,
oh, they're really not fine.
Yeah.
And that's what makes that show interesting is because, and the ones that they choose, you're like, oh, it could literally be any of them.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they took Naruto out. Like, by the end of the show, you're like, yeah, like, it could happen just because, you know, like, that's how the show's done. And that's why it is good in that aspect. Has its bad parts, too.
Something I appreciated about that show that shouldn't be appreciated, but the fact that the writer was just like, I don't know how to write for women. Like, I'm sorry, some of these female characters kind of suck, but he's just like, because like you could be like, oh, I'm glad he's like self-aware about that, or at least admitting fault. But I mean, you could have got someone who was, you know?
I don't think Early could have.
Yeah.
At
some point he had to be making enough money to...
Eventually he should have.
Yeah. Instead of just finishing out the entire show, just being like, oops.
Yeah. I would have liked if, by like Shippuden, because that's when it like, that's kind of the halfway point, and that's like when they grow up. I would have liked it then, because obviously that by that point it was popular enough. Yeah. I'm assuming. I don't know when the manga was out.
Because I mean, even the animation got better. There was money being put into that show.
Yeah. I would have liked if he would have been like, hey, I'm going to work with writers.
Yeah, so Sakura doesn't suck.
That actually know how to write female characters. I know that's my weak point. I want to work on it. Like, yeah, it'd have been so much better.
Yeah, I mean, because...
But I do like that he was at least like, look, there's a reason they're not.
Yeah, and he's like,
in here.
It's my fault.
I'm not good at this.
I have never talked to a woman my entire life. I have no idea what motivates women.
Yeah.
Outside of just dick.
That is Sakura's fucking character trait.
Yeah,
she just like, wants to fuck one person.
Yeah. My entire motivation is some edgy dick.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a spoiler saying the Boruto, so
yeah,
she does. She accomplishes it, so good for her, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, what movies you watch this week? You said you've been watching some movies.
The entire DC universe. I got caught up on the entire DC universe.
Mm-hmm. And then I was going to say standouts. What's the best?
The Snyder Cut.
Yes.
Birds of Prey.
Mm-hmm.
And Shazam. Shazam, it wasn't an amazing movie by any means, but it really stood out because of how much I was surprised by it. Like, I still think it was better than Aquaman and both of the Wonder Womans. And there's a good amount of people that thinks that like Wonder Woman's like the DC
The first
movie.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, the second one fucking sucks, dude. But, yeah, I don't know, because I want to start, and I know this isn't like an original thought, or because it wasn't followed by original thoughts, but making my own opinion on things is something that I need to do, instead of, because like I've realized I judge the DCU
based on like Metacritic and IMDb.
Based on what other people that like friends that respect their opinion on that stuff, or reviewers that respect their opinion on. Yeah. But instead, I need to make my opinion before I'm just like, I heard those movies aren't good, and they're like, oh, and like, and you know, whoever I'm talking to is like, oh, have you seen them? And I'm like, nope. And they're just like, oh, well then, why are you talking about it?
So, what I like to do is if I'm already interested, and I already plan on watching it, like Spider-Man, No Way Home. I was a little late to watching it, relatively. I watched it like second week. Or I think I watched it first week.
Which is kind of...
It's kind of late for that movie.
Considered the most risky spoiler movie all time. That is very late.
Yes. So there were already reviews on it. And I was like, no way I'll watch it. Even the spoiler-free reviews, I was like, no way. No. Because I wanted my own opinion on it. So then I watched it. Then I watched those. And they'll point out some stuff that I missed. I like doing that. But I also love watching a review before I watch a movie.
I kind of do too.
If I am not sold. That's usually what I'll do to sell me on a movie. Yeah. Yeah. I think the one genre that I'll never stop doing that with, though, that I'll 99%, unless I'm like already sold on it, is games. I will always watch a review first. No way I'm putting 150 hours into a video game just to form my own opinion that I could have watched 2 hours and they point out the shit I don't like. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want someone to tell me one way or the other before I figure it out myself. Like, I'm not getting paid to review games, or it's not really adding anything to me, but if I'm about to play a bad game, I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I want someone to fucking stop me from doing that, because it's so much more of an investment.
Yes, it's so much time that I'm like, that has to be, I have to look at it first, and I have to know what I'm going into.
And it's costly.
Yeah.
If you buy a bad game that's like brand new,
it's like $60 to $100.
Yeah.
That's it. Like right there. There's no money back. There's nothing. Actually, it's usually more money towards it.
Yeah. Because like a bad movie, maybe if you go to the theaters, it's a little bit more expensive, but at worst, you're maybe wasting like 3 hours in some gas money.
Yeah.
But like with a bad game, you're wasting a lot.
Yeah.
Because, like, a movie is just you sitting there taking this all in, but a video game is usually what you make out of it. What you decide to do, what you decide to put into it, how much you actually care about the fucking game. So if you don't care, it sucks. It really, really fucking sucks. And not to get carried away, how was your week, buddy?
It's been pretty good. I watched a couple movies. They can't see it, but there's a giant poster over there with a bunch of movies that I need to watch.
Yeah, 100 movies to be exact.
Yeah. And so every week I'm going to try to get one movie off of that list. Yeah. But the movies I watched this week, because that's most of it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just been pretty much work stuff.
Yeah.
So Once Upon a Time in the West was the one that was on there that I watched.
1 out of 10.
No, I gave it a 7.
Oh. What?
You said a 1 out of a 10.
Oh, I meant 1 through 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, what do you mean, no? Yeah. I was like, you just couldn't rate it?
I give it a 7 only for the fact it overstays its welcome. But the movie is supposed to. The same reason that I don't like it is the same reason someone else will love it. The whole movie is building tension. Yeah. It is a movie completely based on kind of like, it's a Western of two, like, when you think of a Western, you think of two people on the standoff, and then they fire at each other.
Yeah, they duel at high noon and shit.
Yeah.
And you see a tumbleweed roll across.
Yeah, and that whole scene, if you just think of that one scene, it's tension until the final resolution, and then it's over. That's how this movie is. Like, it's so much tension, and for me, it doesn't work as well. I think some parts of this movie is just through the roof amazing. I realized that when I watch a movie, like, if I ever critique, like, the cinematography and, like, how it's really shot, I'm pretty much just comparing it to a Western. I want it to be shot more like a Western. So I thought that was a neat notice of, like, this is ideal. Like, I think it's shot perfect.
Me being my, current age, I'm almost a quarter of a century years old at this point. I think that's fun to say. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I wasn't raised on spaghetti westerns. I was raised on, like, Daredevil and Catwoman. Yeah. So I have never seen a fucking revolver duel at high noon done in not a comedy situation.
Yeah.
I have never seen that.
It's very serious.
Yeah, because every single time I've ever seen that scene, it's a parody, and it's just like, it's like a cartoon or just an overly goofy movie. Yeah. Like a million ways to die in the West.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and stuff like that. So I only see that as a trope or like a joke now. Yeah. So actually seeing it been done serious, I'd be like, are they actually going to kill somebody here? Like, nobody's like actually fucking dies right now.
There's two really cool. Okay, there's two lines that I really remember from it. One I think is pretty good, and that's this one. The guy gets off a train, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sent from
a regular train, not like a sexual orgy train, right?
Obviously a train."
I don't know. That'd be kind of neat.
So he gets off the train, and he's like, "Oh, Frank sent me," and the other guys are like, "Oh." We
That's
didn't know.
Much funnier in an orgy train.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, the caboose Frank just sent me.
And the guys were like, we didn't know you were coming.
Still funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking all the momentum. I'm done talking.
They're like, we only brought, or he's like, did you bring a horse for me too? I know. You're only thinking of it as a porno.
That's usually all I'm doing.
Yeah. He's like, did you bring a horse for me too? They're like, no, we only brought 3. He's like, we brought one too few. And he goes, no, you brought 2 too many. And then kills him. And I was like, that's actually pretty good.
That's hard as shit.
Yeah, I like that.
Not the most quotable. I don't know how many times I could say that to somebody. Be like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
And the other line that I thought was not good was he was like, I guess, being like interrogated, I think. And he was just like, he's like, you probably can't even count to one. Like, they were just like bullshitting with each other. And he pulls out his revolver. He's like, no, I can count to 6. And I was like, that's not good. Like, counting to 6 isn't good.
If a guy's about to kill me, that's good enough.
I guess, but I was just like, I didn't love that one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
That's what I'm saying. Same reasons I don't like it. Someone else will be like, that was great.
Yeah, because I'm assuming the only other person that's going to have an opinion on what you just said, if you're the person that said that, is going to be dead now. So, who cares what they think about it? Other
movies I watched, Toy Story 4.
I have not fucking seen that. Or the new Invincibles.
What?
What's that Disney movie? And
the what?
Hold on. The Family.
The Family.
The buff dude, fast guy.
The Incredibles.
Incredibles. I have not seen the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched that one in theater.
All right.
Fun fact, I guess.
I don't know why that pissed me off so bad.
I rewatched The Nice Guys. Phenomenal. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah. I actually rewatched that recently too.
God, it's so good.
Well, because we're doing the whole rating thing on IMDb now and keeping track of it. So I didn't remember how I rated it. So I wanted to go back and I didn't want to under or overrate it because I love that movie.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to. Yeah. I think I maybe gave it an 8.
Yeah. I think it is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. And I remembered it being funny. Going back and rewatching it, it's way funnier than I thought it was. Like, I don't know. Every fucking part of that movie just made me laugh. I think
it is so fucking funny.
I think my favorite part of that entire movie is the bathroom scene.
The bathroom scene.
When he comes in on Ryan Gosling and he's in the bathroom and he's like, I'm ready for you, motherfucker, and he drops a cigarette in his pants and he's trying to keep the door open it's just that scene is fucking wonderful.
It's pretty fucking funny.
I watched Soul, Long Shot, and Hacksaw Ridge.
What's Long Shot? Is that the rom-com?
Yes.
Is that Seth Rogen?
Yes.
Seth Rogen and...
I don't fucking know. I don't know who she is.
Kate something? Is it Kate something?
Those are the main guys.
Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of Knocked Up.
Okay.
But
most people give it like a 7 from what I see. I give it a 4. I found it boring, and I didn't think the jokes.
That's what I've heard from it, is that it's just not that good. Like it's not like an offensive movie, but it's just not.
Yeah, and I think
so. I'm surprised it got a 7.
Yeah, for me, the other part that bothered me is it's a rom-com that I didn't find super funny, but it's also really political.
Yeah,
it's based in politics and like
because she's
running for president.
Yeah,
and so I'm just so fucking burnt out on politics. Like anything I hear about it already kind of just like makes me.
That's coming from two people who don't talk politics.
No,
and I am tired of politics.
Yeah, I just see it so much that I'm just like, when I watch a rom-com, that's not when I want to fucking see it.
No, that's honestly the last category I want to see it.
Yeah, so it just, for me, I was already like, as soon as it opened up with being political, I was already like, against it, and then it would have had to win me over, and it just didn't. Yeah. But I think some of the parts are good enough that I was just like, it's okay. So that's why I give it a 4.
Yeah. All right. Well, at some point we have to talk about a founding father of ours, especially doing what we do. But before we get into all of that mess, what is your song of the week?
My song of the week was, I discovered that someone that I haven't listened to in a long time just dropped a new song, Flume. I really like them. Thought I really liked them, actually. Went back and listened to their album that I used to love of theirs. I only like one song off of it anymore, but this song is pretty good.
I'm assuming it's that?
No, the new song is my song of the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but...
fuck. Yeah.
It's called Say Nothing by Flume featuring May A.
May A?
All
Canadian
caps.
thing?
Oh, I don't fucking... They didn't say a boot it, so I don't know if they're Canadian. That's the only way, or buddy, guy,
Yeah.
pal. That's the only way I know if they're Canadian. What's your song of the week?
Bitch better have my money.
Good choice.
My money.
My money.
But no, I was listening to that song at the gym. Surprise, surprise. So that's where every song of the week comes from for me now. Mm-hmm. But goddamn, did it slap when I needed it too.
That sounds fucking great.
It's never not going to be great either.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's good. Just keep being fucking good.
Yeah. One of the pages that I follow about music, they posted
I was
like,
going to say about Rihanna.
no, actually not. You would think so with what I'm about to say. They were like, give us your hot takes, and someone said that Rihanna's the best female musician. And someone, like, the comments were like, she hasn't put out music in 6 years.
That is.
No, she's not. It's a hot take. Cool.
And that,
I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
I don't think
that only
most
feeds
people do.
fuels the fire to my opinion that I think she is so hot. And don't get me wrong, I have a hot bias myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will forget that hot people are bad actors because they're hot, and that goes for guys and girls. Mm-hmm. Like it completely throws me off sometimes. And I am willing to give a hot woman the benefit of the doubt.
Of course.
But, and I know it's a fact that Rihanna's hot. I don't think, I just still think she's overhyped for her hotness.
Yeah.
And like her likability. She is a likable person.
Yeah.
She does a lot of shit outside of music and being hot.
Yeah.
Like, she's just an interesting character.
She's likable, she's hot, and she does have good music. And I think that's what makes it to where it's like,
yeah,
she's the best. And it's like, tone it down, calm down.
And a successful black businesswoman. I mean,
she's
just,
great.
Yeah, just a likable person. So I don't want to just, narrow her down to being a hot musician.
Yeah.
But
a lot of the comments were Beyonce and Adele.
Yeah. I definitely put Beyonce up there. Because Beyonce's been doing it for a while, dude.
Yeah, she
just stays number one.
Yeah,
and
her new albums are good. So like it's definitely just like, I thought it was a funny hot take.
Yeah.
That I was just like, dude, that's.
I wish Lauryn Hill would have kept going.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, she'd be up there.
Yeah.
Haley Williams.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd say top 10, but just another noteworthy female musician that I fucking love.
Yeah. So we have one more topic to cover today.
And it is probably going to take up a lump sum, so I'm sorry if you're
want to hear about
tired of podcasts talking about Joe Rogan, or if you just watched a Joe Rogan podcast and then come here to listen to two guys talk about Joe Rogan. I'm sorry, I get it. It's probably pretty annoying. We're definitely not the first people to cover this, definitely. But I mean, for what we're doing, this guy's a big influence.
Yeah.
And he doesn't always have my favorite takes, and sorry to have like the slow build reveal like we're doing guess that Pokemon kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would love to just have Joe Rogan's bald ass head just the silhouette. Yeah. It's like guess that podcaster that said the N-word. But we've been wanting to talk about him for some time now because there's been controversy with him for quite a while now. I mean, he wasn't really too mainstream controversial before his hot COVID takes and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I know he's been pushing that the alpha brain shit that people just think is a fucking scam, and they're just like, dude, it doesn't work. Like but like whatever, make money, dude, do whatever. Yeah. But and it even led to the point where Neil fucking Young has just removed his Spotify. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't have gave them an ultimatum. Yes. I think that's where Neil Young.
There's more artists as well.
Yes, yeah, he's been joined. And because I don't hate Joe Rogan, but I do appreciate Neil Young's stance and why he's doing it is because he thinks Joe Rogan is an influencer, which he is. He has a lot of influence for good and bad. He has a lot of people that listen to him like it's scripture.
Yes.
And that's their fault.
I'm glad we're going to talk about Joe Rogan this week rather than last week. We were supposed to last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was, of everything we just said,
yes,
all that controversy, I was full on Joe's side. I was ready to put down anyone else that had any problems with it. I was going to say that anyone was dumb.
Yeah, I don't agree with him, but I am on his side about this.
Exactly. And now that we're talking about it,
yes,
something else has came up that I we're about to watch the video.
Yes.
To kind of
and yeah, neither one of us has seen this.
Yeah, so
we wanted to save it for this. I just was made aware about this yesterday.
Same.
And, you know, Joe is someone I don't... It's not that I just disagree with a lot of his... Well, a good amount of his views, but some of them I just don't like. I mean, I respect Joe's opinions. He seems pretty informed, but... You're allowed to not agree with what someone you says likes. Like, you don't have to agree with everything they say, but it has always been, to me, his fans are the issue. And it's not really his fault. It's just because you're not supposed to just listen to everything one person says. But it's his fucking podcast.
Yes.
He should be able to have somewhere where he can talk. I don't think it's right Neil Young saying, like, he wants them to take Joe Rogan's shit down because this is his platform.
Yeah.
He can talk about what he wants.
Yeah.
And he's not, I mean, even still, with knowing what we know now, he's not spewing out, like, hate speeches and shit like that. So, I mean, it's just his opinion, his takes on things, what he's gathered. And I don't think that means Joe's 100% right in this, but he's allowed to say what he's saying. And
I think the problem that really bothered me is even on the smallest scale, like that we're on, it would be so disheartening for someone that does something like we do and just be like, you all need to not because we don't like you. We don't agree with you.
Yeah.
And especially, like, could you imagine if someone started boycotting artist for that reason? Most people would be like, that's their like freedom of speech kind of thing. Like, they should be able to express themselves in a way.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, people should be allowed to have
controversial takes.
Yeah, there's plenty of clips I've seen from podcasts that I don't like. Yeah. I never think that means they shouldn't have a podcast or shouldn't be allowed to have one because I don't agree with them.
Yeah, and I thought that was so shitty of an artist.
Yeah, I get
to do
where
that to another artist.
Yeah, and I do get where it can kind of be dangerous because of people, again, will listen to Joe like he's their fucking doctor.
Yes.
And some people literally treat him like their Joe Rogan is like Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's just those people's fault, you know? And it does sound like an easy solution. We're like, well, you take Joe away from it, and then it'll solve the problem. But Joe's allowed to say what he fucking wants.
And his response was perfect.
He called him the N-word. He called Neil Young the N-word to solve it.
His response was like a 5-minute video. Yes. It was pretty long. It might have actually been like a 10-minute video. But
yeah. That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I was too busy watching a 4-hour Snyder cut.
Yeah. So he pretty much said, one, he's a big Neil Young fan, and he ended it with like a big story of like how big of a fan he truly is of Neil Young, which that's not important at all.
That's a cool little stance thing.
Yeah, he was like, but pretty much what he said was he'll put a disclaimer on any controversial episode. Yes. Which, perfect. I think that's wonderful.
I think that should have been done for a little bit ago anyways.
Yeah, same.
Like, I'm surprised that hadn't been enforced a while ago. Yeah. But it's cool that he's going out on his own and doing this.
I think he said he talked to the people at Spotify, and they all agreed that was a good way of handling it. So
they said, what do you want to do, Joe?
Yeah, probably. And then...
like, I mean, dude, they paid him $100 million.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much they're making if they're going to pay him $100 million? I
thought it was $500 million, but regardless,
either way,
still,
they got to be making crazy money off him. So at this point, they're just like, if that's what you want to do, Joe, do it.
And then the other thing that he said is anytime he has a controversial, like, pretty much like anyone that's on the right side of politics, he would follow up that episode with someone on the left side of politics. So you could immediately see back and forth the difference. And it wouldn't just be so overwhelmingly one side or the other. Yeah. And I was like, that's a great way of handling everything that he said.
That's a cool thing he doesn't have to do.
And in those comments, The Rock was like, I love this. I'm going to join you soon. He was going to be on the podcast soon.
Oh, that'd be great.
And
just two fucking beefed up bald dudes together.
Yeah. One thing that I don't understand, how the fuck does The Rock just have no controversy around him? Because he's done very controversial stuff. Like, if you watch his WWE clips, he's
I think
does.
people are accept the fact that they're actors.
No,
so
yeah.
it's just kind of like,
but even
like
that,
Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, you're kind of just like, oh, The Rock said, "Shut up, bitch." Like you're just kind of like, yeah, he does his Chinese.
Oh God, that is the one I think of.
His
That's
Chinese impression is
horrible.
not the most timely. It hasn't aged well.
No,
but it's a character.
Yeah,
So. But I mean, The Rock just seems like a wholesome dude.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's not like things came up about him and you're just about his past and you're like, holy shit. Like, he admitted he wasn't a great person. And he was heading down a bad path. Like, he said he was robbing people. Could you imagine getting robbed by the fucking Rock?
Now
you're just like, God damn it. Like, he doesn't even have a gun with him.
Yeah, that was before he was as big as he is now.
Yes,
but I'm just imagining.
Well, I mean, dude, even when he was young.
Yeah, he was ripped.
15. At the age of 15, he was like twice the size that I currently am.
Yeah.
It's scary.
He's a fucking beast.
Yeah. Just never not been.
Yeah.
But
it always just blows my mind that he can get away. Like, think about how many actors, if they were like, oh yeah, I love Joe Stance on this now.
Yeah.
I love that he said what he said. I'm going to go join him. Think about how many actors would have been like, you're never going to be in a movie again. But The Rock is just untouchable.
He doesn't need that. Because he's like, you're losing money if you don't have me in your next movie.
Fucking wild. It's cool.
Now,
right, but,
who I want to see before The Rock on there? Well, us. But Neil Young.
That would be crazy.
Neil Young on the Joe Rogan Experience. It's got to happen. I would love for that to happen.
Yeah.
What if Neil just comes in there and just fucks him up? Not physically, but
I figured not.
verbally.
Well, I think this might be...
Without further ado, we're going to listen to Joe say the N-word.
N-word multiple times on his podcast, Patriot Takes, which put the video together as
Do you think they're going to show it just bleeped?
extremism on
I hope so.
I'm sure they're not going to
edited compilation of different
uncensor it.
Well, no. I just hope they actually show... Oh, okay. They do.
You know, saying the word. Well, I already said is just like thing. Or she's calling you a boy. Starts calling him for. There should be a word like, especially the word. That's our. He says guy and there starts saying use the word out the word.
Okay. I thought it was going to be once.
There's been a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
You couldn't see.
just unbelievable.
I was hoping that long pause
I
would
did
just go,
too. I thought that's what it was going to be.
So, I'm not going to lie. I don't care to watch these two white men talk about this, even though we are two white men talking about it. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. So, run down of that.
Worse than I thought. I thought...
The silver lining to it, though.
Okay.
It's hard for me to be like, you know what? I will represent the other side. And I didn't expect it to be used as an insult. And he doesn't. Whenever he says it, he's quoting it. That doesn't mean it's okay. It's still, you still got to tread lightly with that. Because there are a good amount of people that, like, whenever you're quoting somebody, they still will say stuff like that. Because they're just like, well, it's not me saying it. But you wanted to know what this guy said, so I'm telling you what he said. I don't agree with what he said. But I do... I mean, I'm not really the person to tell you if that's right or wrong.
Yeah.
But I am glad to hear that it wasn't hurled at somebody. Like, he wasn't calling somebody that. Because a lot of the times when you hear, like, oh, Mel Gibson caught saying this, he is calling people this. Yes. He is saying he hopes someone gets R-worded by a pack of N-words.
Yeah, that was horrible.
By a pack.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, but, you know, Mel Gibson's a different breed. But... built different. But yeah, so what do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's pretty bad.
You see what Bert posted?
No.
Bert Kreischer, he posted a picture of him and Joe and said, like, he's lucky to be friends with a guy like Joe. Basically just being like, you know, I'm standing with Joe on his decision to say the N-word.
We talked about this. The Rock has said that he's not going to go on the Joe Rogan Experience now. He bailed on it.
Wow. So that was...
He bails on Joe Rogan after
that was a quick
controversy.
turnaround.
Well,
Yeah. That was a smart move.
also, I'm not defending. I don't want this to come off as if I am.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a lot of controversy around him. Thousands of episodes were up. The Rock says he's going to be on there, and immediately they start digging. And they found 70 episodes.
Yeah, I would say, I don't see how this wasn't brought up sooner, because like these
Yeah.
are like some of the early ones.
Yeah, it couldn't have taken that long to find them.
Yeah, whenever they still have like Red Band with them.
Yeah.
Like, these are old episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's just now being brought. I'm assuming it has to do with the new wave of controversy with them, that people are wanting to find stuff.
Yes.
Not saying that it,
Yeah.
Joe's the victim in
Yeah,
this.
that's why I didn't want that to come off that way.
Because Joe's not the victim of this, and it is alleged that 70 videos were taken down.
Yeah.
And in that short little, it couldn't be more than 20 seconds, you saw him say it a lot.
Yeah. After a fan-made website found that roughly 70 episodes of the podcast were no longer available on Spotify. Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe it took this long
Yeah, that's
for that. Because I never knew about... I mean, and there's newer episodes of him saying that.
I don't think anything was new.
Dude, do you see some of the backgrounds?
Yeah, I think all those come from like...
Relatively new.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just old ones that people probably
Yes.
didn't listen to, but like... I mean, you see a decent amount of his...
Yeah.
well, this isn't going to load the way I want it to.
I think they're all YouTube, when they were all still on YouTube, which doesn't mean it's old,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, they're pretty bad. It's worse than I thought. I thought it was going to be once. He said it one time.
Whenever I saw that there were 70 episodes taken down, I knew it was going to be a decent amount. And I guess with knowing that... I mean, I guess maybe... now saying that he's at least said it 70 times on the podcast. Because, I mean, other episodes could have been... He could have just said it like 20 times, which is still 20 times too many. And then like the other 50 episodes were taken down for other controversial reasons. So it's not fact that he said it in 70 different episodes.
Yeah. Do you think you can pull up Joe saying what he said about it?
Oh, yes, I do have that. I did. No, I did have that up. But,
Okay.
Oh, this is the video. That's why this video is almost 3 minutes long, because it
it's
goes...
Joe apologizing.
Yes. Yeah, because he does go into...
Because I want to know what the hell he says.
Yeah.
Because what can you say at that point? Because, like, I've seen this headline that just says, it makes me sick.
Okay, so I guess we will...
distribution deal with it. Jim, this is all coming to light because of the recent controversy about anti-vaccine rhetoric on Rogan's podcast. Some artists decided to quit the service. One of them, India Ari, pointed out this video, this compilation video, and pointed out that the language Rogan has used around race in the past is just as, or maybe even more problematic than his rhetoric about vaccines. We know Rogan's show is known for its fresh and frank and unvarnished conversation. That's why his fans like the show.
Bro, this is not the bald white guy I want to hear from right now.
No. I've never cared what CNN has to tell me.
The dude talking has definitely used the N-word before.
I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video...
God, what if he would have said it there?
...taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there is no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have
It's
to
never
say,
good.
I'm not racist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you f***ed up. And I clearly f***ed up.
Yeah, I think anytime that you have to say,
Yeah,
I'm not a racist, but is
Yeah.
the worst. Yeah, you should never be in that situation.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I would have completely forgot to play the rest of that clip.
Yeah, because I did want to see what he had to say about it. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
He takes responsibility. Yeah,
Yeah.
he mans up about it. He's not just like oh, that was stupid. I should have done it different time of my life. He's just like, I fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I fucked up. And he's like, he doesn't make an excuse for it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, because he doesn't like pin it on somebody else and be like, oh, well, because a lot of people be like, oh, well, growing up, I heard that word, it was never a big deal. Like, he's just like, yeah, it was wrong. I know it's wrong. It's hard for me to watch now. And he's like, and he even addresses well, if you got to explain that you're not racist, you did something wrong.
Yeah.
So, again, not our spot to forgive him. It's not really on our shoulders to accept that apology.
No.
But
I
think Joe will bounce back.
I do
pretty
too.
fine.
I want to see what other people.
I want to see what like Cormier has to say about it.
Yes.
I want to see like
Yes.
what his people that are close to him, like Chappell. I want to see what Chappell has to say about it.
Yeah.
Ja Rule. No, I'm just kidding.
What does Ja Rule think of a time like this?
But no,
I would like The Rock. I don't know that he hasn't, but I would like to see what The Rock actually says about this.
Yeah.
He probably won't. I don't think he'll speak out.
he shouldn't.
He has no reason to.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
shouldn't. Him just saying he's not going on the Joe Rogan podcast is probably all he needs to say right now.
Yeah, and I don't.
And that's just covering his own ass.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that post now and you don't see when he commented that, it might look like he just found out Joe said the N-word and was like, I'm coming on the podcast. This is the guy I can stand by. But, yeah, I mean, it does suck to see because I hate people that just don't like Joe Rogan because he's Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Or just because the people who like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. Both sides of that are very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
To where people will, no matter what Joe says, they're going to see it in a negative light. And no matter what he says, they're going to see it in a positive light. You have to be smart enough to
not believe Joe.
And to form your own decisions. Yeah. You know, because I mean, what Joe says might work for him. But that doesn't mean it'll work for you. You know, Joe's probably not built like most of us.
Yeah.
And an all meat diet might not work for some people, you know, but people like Joe can do it because he probably has the right resources. I'm not going to fucking do it because the meat I have resources to is like hot dogs and pre-made burger patties. And I will die in a fucking week if that's all I eat.
Yeah.
So I could imagine eating meat 24/7. I mean, that's a lot of the time, you know, it's pretty much all of the time. I mean, for breakfast, just meat. I mean, what, sausage patties, bacon, just that. You could probably get away with maybe a steak or so.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, like if you eat a burger, you can't have anything else on it but like bacon.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to try that.
I think it's unfortunate to see.
Yeah, it sucks to see. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
About it. Again, it did make me feel better because I thought
God, it would have been so much worse.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't like out of anger or hurling at somebody, but it's still not okay with the context that it is. But you know,
yeah,
but yeah, again, just to wrap that segment up, I just can't wait to see what other people say, like Neil Young.
I wonder where it'll go from here.
Yeah,
because I do think at some point I think something that he did smart was apologize immediately twice.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart move. Like, you've seen that at this point, I don't think anyone's really mad at Travis Scott anymore, which is wild.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's a few families that are mad at him.
But you kind of, from what I've seen, it seems like he's forgiven. And
I think he just partnered with BetterHelp to get those, you know, but we've already discussed all that.
But he waited so long to respond each time, and it felt like it refueled the fire, versus this seemed like we'll see what happens from here. He's either going to just like completely be canceled right away, done, or we're going to see that people just start to forgive him.
Yeah.
Which is,
I think this might serve as this whole month will probably serve a pretty big part in future episodes because Joe's big. Joe's gotten really big. And this might be kind of a heat check moment.
Yeah.
To where it's like, not that I think Joe's ego was getting crazy or that he was just out of control, but like it might make him, in which you could look at a good or a bad thing, but like really be careful about what he says. Because there is a certain freeness to what Joe says, and it can be really entertaining depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess just depending on how you look at it, this could be a good thing going forward, or it could just kind of take away some of his hot takes, which some people watch that podcast for.
Yeah. I also think that you're going to see less people want to be on there for a while.
Yeah, and that might not even be people that are mad at him, but just
you don't want to be there.
Yeah, because it's just for your public image. Like, you don't want to be the first guest after this.
Yeah.
I do think that Dave Chappell could clear almost this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if he made a public statement, I think most people would forgive. If he said, hey, here's, like, I'm okay with it, I think most people would be like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, Dave Chappell, you know?
Yeah.
Fine.
But
I want to see what Kanye will say about it.
I don't think he'll. But that's even if Dave feels like he needs to speak out. I mean, he's talked about how close he is with Joe.
Well, they go on tour like a good amount. They've spent a good amount of time together. Like,
yeah, so I do think that he will say something. But
I think a lot. Even if he doesn't, I know people are going to be just like we are. We're asking for it.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be a lot of people that are like messaging him, people he doesn't know, that's going to be like, hey, what do you think? And he's just be like, dude,
which is unfortunate of like, oh, I'm associated with the person that had controversy, so now I'm in the controversy.
Yeah. I never realized that noise was coming from the fridge.
Yeah.
What's it doing? Oh, I mean, I guess fridging. Is doing fridge shit?
Yeah.
I'd probably be that loud too. But, yeah, y'all probably don't want to hear us talk about a small fridge. So, let's wrap this shit up.
Yep. That's been Jammin with Kron Rex.